Hey guys, I just want to talk with you for a few minutes about guarding our hearts. We're going to be talking about this specifically Sunday morning as we gather, and just in preparation of that and having you pray through it and beginning to examine your hearts and really desiring for God to bring transformation in our lives. I'm doing these little short videos just to give you something to begin to pray through and really just ask God to search you as I do the exact same thing. And so we're talking about guarding our hearts against materialism and self-centeredness and just living these indulgent lifestyles instead of seeing ourselves as belonging to God and being on mission with Him. And Jesus says in Matthew 6:21, He says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And so where our treasure is, where we spend our time, where we spend our money and our energy, that's where our heart is. And our heart has to be in that of a relationship and a walk with Jesus Christ. Because He will say in verse 24 of that very same passage, He says, "No one can serve two masters. You either hate one and despise the other, or vice versa." You can't serve both. And so either you're going to get caught up in the things of this world, or you're going to be caught up in your relationship with Jesus Christ. And when you walk in a healthy, intimate relationship with Jesus Christ, then you're going to be storing up treasures that are in heaven, not on earth. Let me give you an illustration of a sad story that Jesus gave in Luke 12. He said there was a man that was a farmer and that his crops were yielding tremendous crops, and so much that he didn't even have a place to store all the harvest that he was bringing in. So instead of saying, "God, what can I do with this? How can I use it? How can I use this to further your kingdom?" He says, "I know what I'll do." He said, "I'll tear down my barns, I'll build bigger barns, and then I'll be able to sit back and just kind of be, fat and healthy, so to speak, and I can just sit back and eat, drink, and be merry, enjoy life, and find my hope and security and pleasure in the labor of my own hands and the things of this world instead of a relationship with God." And Jesus says in that parable, He says, "You fool." He says, "You don't even know that tonight the Lord's going to require your life from you and you're going to die. And all the things that you've invested in here on earth will belong to someone else." How many times do we foolishly live that very life out? Of thinking that if we can acquire enough things and we have all of our hope and our pleasures in things instead of in God. And little do we know that our life is fleeting and it's passing, and we don't know what tomorrow may bring. This may be our last day. Who knows? And so at the end of the day, Jesus and James, as we'll see this week, has given the cry, the call. Make sure that your hope is in me and that your life is in me, meaning Christ, and that you are investing and laying up treasures, storing up treasures in heaven, not on earth. You say, "Well, how do we lay treasures up in heaven?" You invest in your walk with Christ, because it will lead to your investment in other people, and you will see your resources as that you're given in life as that very thing, resources, not idols, not things that you just cling to, not things that you're looking for security and hope and even your ultimate pleasure. But instead you will see yourself as a vessel being on mission for Christ. And then I'll leave you with this. In Romans 8:18, Paul says this. He says, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us." Listen, we're going to suffer some in this earth, this life. We're going to go without, but we're not clinging to the things of this world, for the simple fact is that we know that what's before us, we can't even begin to wrap our minds around, because it's going to be so great and so awesome. And that's what we're running for, the kingdom of God that's to come. And that's what we're investing in. So lay your treasures up in heaven, not on earth. Begin to pray and ask God to guard your hearts from materialism and narcissism and self-love. And ask God to help give you a heart to walk with Him. Hope this is an encouragement to you today, and may God richly bless you.